Okay, hello guys and welcome back to my channel. I want to say a very big thank you to all of my subscribers, the old ones and the new ones. If you have not subscribed to my channel, if this is your first time of coming across my video on YouTube, please don't hesitate to subscribe on my channel and don't forget to hit on the notification bell so that you will be able to see all of my new videos. Actually, today I'm going to be cutting a bustier gown. It's a very simple gown. The top part is going to be bustier, while this down part is going to be pleated, long flowing gown. It's just a bustier pleated gown. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. So for the front part, I'm going to be using this fabric for the up. I'm mixing two Ankara together. As you can see, this is the Ankara fabric. So I'll use this part for the top part, while this part is going to be for the down part. You can decide to make use of one fabric, so it depends on what you want. So I'll begin by cutting out the front piece, which is this. So I'll set this one aside and then begin. As you can see, this is leftover fabric, but for the measurements I'm actually going to be making use of today, the bust is actually 42 inches, while the breast point is 11-14. Then the bust span, I'll be making use of 4.5 for the bust span. So, and then the under bust measurement is going to be 35. Then the length here, I'll be making use of 17 inches. So the cut is going to be like from here. As you can see, this dress I'm putting on is going to be here, not exactly here. So now I begin. Like I told you, for you to determine how to fold your fabric, that's for beginners. Like I said, I'm using 42, so you divide 42. When you divide 42 into 4, you can decide to add like 2 inches or 3 inches. So with that, after adding 3 inches, you'll be able to get how to fold your fabric. But if you are the one that don't want to run into problems, you can add 5 inches to it. So like I have 10.5 now. This is 10.5, and this is 4.5 inches. So this is leftover fabric, so I can just decide to just leave it. So I'll fold like this and then start with the middle part, which is like the dart. That's this middle part. Like I told you initially, I said the breast point is 11, which is this. And this is 15. So I'll leave these 2 inches as my allowance. So as you can see where my tape is, I have half an inch here. So this half an inch is going to be like my starting point. So this is it. So now the next thing I'm going to be doing now, measure the middle part, which is the bust span. Like I told you, you can always measure. Like what I have here, mine is 8 inches, but this I'm going to be making use of 9 inches, which is 4.5. So I'll take my tape like this and then place like this. I have 4.5 here, so I'm going to run 4.5 from up down. So I'll just connect with my tape. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now, I'll measure 1 inch from this top line here. 1 inch from here. Then I'll measure half an inch from this left side. Half, you can see it, this is half an inch here. I'll just take it up like this. Then I'll come down, like I told you. This is the under bust, this is the breast point, then this is the under bust. So I'll take 1 inch on this right side like this. and then take 1 inch on this left side. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now, I'll take this 1 inch from this under bust line, I'll take it to this breast point line, which is here, this part. This is the line. Like I told you, I measured it at 11. So I'll just take it like this. I'll make use of my ruler. Then from here, from this point, I'll just walk it way here to this part. It's not actually supposed to be straight, so just come like this, as you can see. As you can see, like this, and then like this. Then for this part, this left side, I'll take it like this to this breast point line also, and then walk it down to join this 1/2 inch line on the left side. So this is like the dart in making a bustier top. This is like a dart. So this is it. So I'll cut it out first, then before I continue, I'll cut it out. I'll just take like this. As you can see, when you get to this point, you just go like this. Make sure you don't cut the straight line that we did initially, and then bring it to this 1 inch line. Then this one, you go like this. When you get to this breast point line, you come like this middle line, that's like the dart line. So you're not cutting on that line. You can see. So you can see just like a slight slant curve. So now I'll take this middle piece like this and then place it here like this. I just place at 1/2 inch up and then 1/2 inch down. So now insert my full measurement. So her shoulder is 16 inches, which is 8. So you divide into 2, you have 8 inches. I'll measure it like this. This is the 8 inches. I'll add to 1.5 inch. I can make use of 1.5 inch as my allowance. And then from the shoulder line measurement, I'll measure 8 inches, which I'm going to be using for my armhole. So I'll just roll it like this. You can make use of your curve. You can decide, if you know your hand is straight, you can just decide to roll it like this. So this is it. Then from the armhole line, I'll measure the bust measurement. Like I told you, I'm going to be making use of 42, which is 21 divide. When you divide 21 into 42, you divide it into 4. When you divide into 4, you have 10.5. So you just place it just below the armhole line like this, just below. You can decide to make use of 9 inches, so it depends on anyone that works for you. So me, what I normally do, it depends on the style. That is what will make me to know what I'll be using for the armhole, if I'm going to be making use of 9 or 8. So I'll add 2 inches as my allowance, just like this, and then just curve like this. Then for the down part, which is this part, her measurement is 40. So when you divide 40 into 4, you have 10 inches. So this is 10 inches. And then 3 inches as my allowance. So I just bring it down like this. So before I cut out. Most times what I normally do, after joining this part, then I'll now cut out the neck measurement, because like this, for this I'm going to be doing a canoe neck. So as you can see, this piece, this middle part is too small for the canoe neck, so I'm going to be coupling it. After joining it, that's when I will now cut out my neck. Sorry, that's when I will now cut out the neck measurement. So for the shoulder slant, you just come like this and measure 1 inch down here. Measure 1 inch down here. Then from the neck measurement, I'm just using this to indicate. I'm not going to be cutting it out for people that don't know how to do this. Then for the neck measurement, if you want a tiny neck of like 3.5 inch, you can decide to just measure it like this, 3.5. But me, I'm going to be making neck of like 7 inches because it's going to be a canoe neck. So, and I don't want to do it now. I want to join this part first before I do that. Then you measure your 3.5, then you come down. Like I always say in most of my videos, you can always measure how deep you want the neck measurement to be. So I'm just using this as kind of indication. It's not like I'm cutting it out. And then curve. If you want a small neck, this is 3.5 to 4. Then from this point, you remember the 1 inch that I measured, you just make a slant like this. You can decide to make use of a ruler if you want to. You just make a slant like this. So that's the shoulder slant on it. So this part now, just take it like this. And then do my shoulder slant like this. So like I told you, I'm not cutting out the neck. I want to couple it first before I cut out the neck measurement. So this is the front. So with this, I'll cut the back part. Okay, welcome back, guys. As you can see, I've cut the front. So now I want to cut the back. This is the piece for the back. I'll just fold this like, why it's like this is because I'm using my leftover fabrics. So that is why. So I'll just take this like this and place this here. I had to join it because the fabric will not be enough. So I'll just take the front piece like this and place like this to get the back, to cut out the back. And then take this which is the middle piece, and just place it like this at 1/2 inch. As you can see, I'll place it at 1/2 inch, and then I'll leave this part as my zip allowance. So I'll just cut out like this. I'm using 1.5 inch as my zip allowance for the back piece. So I'll just cut it out like this, and then just trace out the front measurement. This is my shoulder slant. I'll cut it out like this, and then from this side, and then cut out the armhole. Like I told you initially, I said I'm doing a boat neck, which is like a canoe neck. So after coupling it, that's when I will cut out the neck. So this is it. For the back, I will just do my normal regular dart. So I'll just put a notch here so that I can do my regular waist dart. So that's it. You can see this is the back and this is the front. As you can see, I've ironed my stay on it. This is the middle piece. If you want to watch how I did this gum stay, you watch my video on how to pad an Ankara. Most times why we normally do this is to give the dress firmness. You see, the dress will be firm. So that is why we normally do this. So you can see I've ironed it on the front. I also ironed on the back also. So now this is my lining. So I'll go back to my table, to my machine now, couple, and turn it out, iron it properly, and then come back and cut the down part, which is the pleat, and then show you how to pleat it. So see you. Welcome back, guys. As you can see now, I finished coupling it. I've done my armhole. I've covered my armhole. You can see the neck that I was telling you, the canoe neck that I was telling you. You can see it exceeded the middle piece. That was why I said I was going to couple the front first before I cut out the neck. So now this is the top part of the gown. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be cutting out my the down part of this dress. And most times, for beginners that don't know, most times how do you determine, like I told you, the full length of this dress, the full length of this gown is 60 inches, and what I have here, most Ankara is usually 45 inches. So what I have here is 45, and what I have here is 15.5 inches. So with this 15.5 and 45, I have 60 inches plus the little edges that is remaining. So that is how you determine. What you normally do, if you have 60, if the length of your gown is 60, you subtract the up part, that's the mid part, you subtract it, whatever is remaining, that's what will determine how long the down part of your fabric is going to be. So it's really simple. All you have to do is just subtract the up part from the down part, and then you are good to go. So now for this down part of this gown, most times there are two ways of doing this pleat. There are actually two ways of doing it. There are some I folded both fabric for this. What I want, the pleat on it, I want it to be really full. So what I did was, those back piece, I used 2 yards for this back. The front piece, this I have 2 yards here. Then for the front I have 2 yards. Then the back I have 2 yards and about 6 inches. So that is what I did. This is what I cut out. So the cutting out depends on how wide you want it. That is what actually determines it. So for, like I told you, there are two ways of doing this plate. There are some that you just take like this. There are some that you just take like this, and you can just start pleating. You find out that both the up part and the down part is the same. But for this I don't want it to be like that. I'm gonna be slanting the sides of the down part. I'm going to be slanting it like an A line. I want it to be like an A line, so I'm going to be slanting it. And most times for this top part, how wide, how full you want it, that is what determines how you fold your fabric, like I told you before. So for this, what I'm going to be doing, I'll just take from this end part, that's from this part, which is the end part of the fabric. I'll just measure like 7 inch out of it. I'll measure 7 inch. That's from this ending part. I'll measure out 7 inch. You will notice, see the way I folded my fabric. This side, this is the extra 3 inch each that I use, which is 6. I'm going to use it as the zipper allowance for the back. So my table is not wide enough. That is why I'm doing this. So like I told you, I measured out 7 inch. You can decide to make use of 8 inch. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be slanting this. I'm going to be slanting it. You can see it like this. I'm going to be slanting it straight down like this to form an A line to this angle. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'll slant it to this angle. Like I told you, you can just decide to pleat, but me, I don't want it. I want the down to be like an A line. So that is why I've chosen to do this. So I'll just take my tape like this. I'm coming to this angle. I'll just sorry my ruler like this, and then just slant down to this point. Why I decided to reduce 7 inch, you can decide to reduce by 10 inch. Depends on what you want. But I still want my plate to be full at the top. So that is why I decided to do this. I don't want the plate, I just don't want it to be just straight down. I don't want it to be straight down. That is why I'm doing this. You can see the slant on it. It's really simple. You can just decide to pleat like that, but me, I don't want it. I want the down part to look like an A line. As you can see, it's looking like an A line now. So I've opened up my middle piece, sorry, the top part. So now I'll fold it into two. From this middle here, I'll make a notch here. I'll put a notch here at the middle. This notch is to indicate for me to know that this is the midpoint of the dress. That is why I did it. So for this this is the front piece, like I told you initially. So I'll put a notch here at this middle. Then this back, this is the zipper allowance part. So I'm just going to be opening it like this. So there are two ways to do this. I can just decide to pin it, or I'll take it to my machine to sew it on it for you to just see it straight. So I'll open up this piece now, this front piece. So I'll work with this front piece. Let me set the back one aside. So for this front piece, like I told you initially, I made a notch here at the middle. The reason for this notch is this. So when I start sewing, I divided it into 4 and made 4 notches on it, but you can still decide to make 2. So the reason for this notch is I'm going to be starting the pleating. I'll start pleating from here. I'll take it like this. I'll sew this point. You can see this is the allowance, the seam allowance part. So I'll sew it straight like this. When I get to this place, I'll start my pleat. You can see what I have. Look at the small space I have, and I have so much here. Everything from here has to go into this. So I'll pleat everything to go into it, and then pleat. When I get to this middle, because of this notch that I made here at the middle, I will know that I'm stopping here. Then the other part, I'll pleat the other part and do the same thing to the back. So now I'll take it to my machine to do it. I can pin it, but let me sew it so that you understand what I mean. If you know you cannot do it from the machine, you can decide to just do your pleat. You can just decide to pin it first before you do it. But since I can do it straight, let me just do it for you to see. So like I said, I'm back on my machine. This is good side, good side. This is the good side, this is the good side, wrong side out. So I'll take it like this. I'll take it like this. I'm doing the front part first and just put like this. Like I told you, you can decide to pin if you want to. I'll just back stitch like this. And then just sew out of my seam, the seam allowance. This is where I'm stopping. So everything that I have here, this is where I'm going to. So I have to pleat it, let everything come in. And I'm doing the regular pleat. I'm not doing the box pleat. As you can see, this is the middle. So I've gotten to the center of it. The center is staying on the center. As you can see, this is my notch. This is the notch of the the upper part also. You can see it. This side is facing this side. This side is facing this side. As you can see. So when you get to this part, you don't pleat to the same part, the same allowance part. You don't pleat. You leave it straight and then you sew. So like I said, when you're getting towards the end, you just stop like this towards the seam allowance. You don't pleat that part. As you can see, this is the front pleat. So I'll do the same thing to the back and then come and show you. So as you can see, I finished. This is the front like I showed you. So I've done the back. This is the back side. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now is I'm just run my seam down to the end, and at the end I'll come back and show you the completed dress. You can decide to insert pockets into it if you like to. If you want to, you can decide to put your pocket. So welcome back. So now I'm going to be cutting the sleeve. The sleeve I'm actually going to be cutting is like a 3-piece sleeve. It's going to be a sleeve that is going to start from here down to this place, and it will have a little balloon here, then it will have a band on it. So I'll just walk you through it. So the length for this first part of this sleeve, from here down to this place, the sleeve will come like this. From here down to this place, it's going to be 13 inches. Then it will have a puff here, then it will now have a band. So now let's do it this way. So I'm going to be using 13 inches for the first part. That's the upper layer of my sleeve. This is 13 inches. That's in from up here down. This is 13 inches. Then the slant I'm going to be using for the sleeve, you can watch other of my videos on how to sew sleeves. So but I'm just going to be doing this one. So this is 12 and a half. So I'll stop here. So I'll just make a slant like this. So then from this part, the roundness of her sleeve is 16 inches, which is 8 inches. So I'll mark 8 inches like this, and then just add 1.5 inch as my allowance. You can use one. So this is you can see this is the slant of the sleeve. You see it's slanted. Then I'll just take it from here, from this my 12.5 inch, and just come like this. It is very simple and very easy. You can see. My arc like this. So this is the first part. So with this I'll cut a second piece. Before I continue, initially I told you that I'm going to be using the round sleeve of this person is actually 18 inches. Sorry, it's actually 16 inches, which is 8. You divide into 2, which is 8 inches. So for the puff part of my sleeve, I'm going to be folding my remaining fabric like this again. So how to fold, determine on how full you want your puff to be. So how full you want your puff to be, that is what will determine how wide it's going to be. This is 14 inches. So the length, I don't want it to be too long. So I'll just make use of like, I'll make use of like 9 inches. Why 9 inches? The actual length I'm using is 7 inches. 9 inches. I'll use 1 inch from this part. I'll use 1 inch from this part as my seam allowance. What I actually want is 7 inch. I'll use 1 inch from this top part and then use another 1 inch from this side. So at the end of the day, I'll have like 7 inch. So like I told you, this is 14 inch. So I'll just cut out like this. I'm going to pleat the sleeve for you so that you understand what I'm doing. So I'll cut it out like this. So this is the part that I'm going to be using for balloon. The down part, I'm going to be folding it like this, and I'll put elastic. Sorry, I'll put band on it. I'm not using elastic for this one. I'll be using band. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now, let me show you what I want to do. So I'll just make a notch here. This is to indicate this other part is my seam allowance. So I'll take it like this and then bring this. I'll just use mine. I'm actually going to be turning it with lining. I'm just doing this just to indicate for you to see. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now, after pleating it like this, I'll take it like this. After pleating it like this, I'll take it to my mesh. I'll sew it like this. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now is I'll cut the band. This band that I'm going to be cutting is for this part of the sleeve. So I'll use from my leftover fabric. So now I'm going to be making my band now. So for my band, I'll be making use of 10 inch. This is 10 inches as you can see. I'll add 2 inch as my seam allowance. So I'll just cut it out like this. I'll take it to my ironing table. Like I told you, what I'm doing now is just a rough illustration to show you so you understand. I'll actually take it to my ironing table, iron my gum, stay on it. to make it firm. So this is how it will be. This is the band. So I'll bring it like this. The middle, I'll just put a notch here like this, and then this part like this, I'll make a notch here too. This middle, I'll make a notch here, and then bring it like this. And then I'm going to be pleating everything here. You can decide to sew it, draw it as gathers. So it depends on what you want. You can decide to sew it and then you draw as gathers. But if you don't want to do gathers, if you want to do pleat, you can just do it like this. Then I'll now pin like this. I'll make the pleats tiny. So this is it. So I'll now turn like this. As you can see, this is the sleeve. As you can see, the shape of the sleeve is coming out already. So you now take it to my machine. This is basically the sleeve. So you now sew it like this down, and then when you wear it, you can decide to make use of elastic. So when you wear, you now pull up like this, so the band, the puff will come up and the band will be there. As you can see, this is it. So I decided to just use pins to indicate it for you. The sleeve is very fine. It's very, very fine, and it's nice. So you just take it and then sew to the desired length that you want, the desired width that you want to do. So like I said, I have come to the end of this illustration. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, like my video, share my videos, share my video, comment on my videos. If you are having any difficulty concerning what I've done with this gown, with this bustier gown, with pleated, with pleats, let me know. You can comment on the comment section. You know I'm very fast to reply you. So if you like what I did with this video, don't forget to like this video. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe, hit on the notification bell to make you so whenever I upload a new video, you would know. So thank you so much for watching. Bye, and God bless you.